You know, I've been doing this for a long time. Before coming to Northwell, I was at St. Francis Hospital for 12 years. Then I was at Stony Brook for 3 years. And I've been fortunate that over the course of all those years, I've had excellent results in terms of my outcomes and in terms of being able to take good care of patients. It's undocumented, my journey to Princeton and Harvard and life as a heart surgeon. I'm originally from South America, from Colombia, from a small and humble town in the center of Medellin, Colombia. And I came here when I was 13 years old. I happened to have come in a boat that crossed through the Bermuda Triangle. Since then, I was for many years, me and my family lived in America without documents. So the book is about that. It talks about the struggles, the dreams, and the challenges of living in America without documents. We took a plane all the way into Nassau. Then from Nassau, we went to a tiny little island in the Bahamas called Bimini. And we were there for 2 weeks, meaning me, I was 13 years old, and my brother, who was 11 years old. We were accompanied by an adult, and we waited for 2 weeks because the sea was very rough, and we wanted to wait until the sea was better. And then we took a little boat from this tiny island called Bimini to the coast of Miami. In Miami, we actually we knew some friends of our parents, so they dropped us off at an abandoned port. We called a taxi cab, and the taxi brought us to our friends. And then we took a plane from Miami to New York. I hadn't seen my mother for over 2 years, and I hadn't seen my father for over 4 years. So it was a very emotional reunion. One of the things we were not supposed to do was really sort of hug them and cry and do all the stuff that could sort of set alarms for immigration officers and that kind of stuff. But that's exactly what we did, because there was just so much emotion and so much energy built into that meeting with our parents. Our parents also came here without documents, and they came here basically to look for opportunity, to look for a better life, so that they could make their own dreams of supporting a family and education for themselves and for us. They always felt that education was the way to get ahead in life. And from the first weekend that we were here, in fact, that first Monday, they took us to school. And they really encouraged for us to really get an education. And for me, it turned out that I worked real hard during high school, and I ended up getting accepted to Princeton University, and that's where I got my degree in molecular biology from. No. In fact, I can tell you that no one in my family ever went to college. In fact, no one in my family before me finished high school. I just, what attracted me to medicine is that when I was a young boy growing up in Medellin, and my parents were in America, there were doctors and nurses that would come to our house to help my abuelitas, my grandmothers. And I always was sort of attracted, and I was fascinated by the relief that these medical professionals were able to bring to them and to us as family. And I always wanted to be able to do the same for other people. I just worked real hard, and it took a lot of little steps in terms of doing well in athletics, track and field, soccer. I was in the Boy Scouts, so I eventually became an Eagle Scout. And a lot of sort of many other little steps. Also graduating as the valedictorian of my high school, and that's how I got the opportunity to go to Princeton. At that time, there was a lot of energy and excitement about new genes and developing new genes, In fact, one of them was the discovery of the gene that causes cystic fibrosis. And I just thought it was very exciting to be able to actually work with DNA, manipulate DNA, and that's why I decided to do molecular biology. I became documented while I was at Princeton. And in fact, when I was at Princeton, I wrote letters to everyone. I wrote letters to President Reagan, to Bill Bradley, to the governor of New Jersey, Thomas Kean. And actually, Bill Bradley sent me a couple of letters. One of them was to call his office, and he wanted to know the name of the judge and when my next trial was going to be in immigration. And it just happened, I don't know if it was by coincidence, but it happened that the next time we had our trial, the judge was very compassionate, and he gave me and my family our residency cards. Getting into Harvard was actually, I felt, was a little bit easier just because now I was coming from one of the top universities in the country, and I had done well at Princeton. So I was trying to decide between going to Harvard Medical School and Johns Hopkins. And I happened to get accepted to a program called Health Sciences and Technology, where it's actually between Harvard and MIT. And it was a program that allows you to do research and at the same time go to medical school. And that was, a dream come true for me, and it allowed me the opportunity to both do research at the same time that I was getting my medical education. I actually did a lot of research while I was getting my medical education, but my focus was always on being able to work with people. Because at the end of the day, my goal in medicine, and the reason I entered medicine in the first place, was to be able to help people. That was a dream I had since I was a little kid. And so therefore, even though I was doing the research, my overall goal was still to be able to work with people. And that's why it never really changed. I always knew I wanted to go into a clinical part of medicine. Yes, I have. In fact, I was there just a few years ago. I was the president of a medical society in New York, and we organized a conference in Cartagena where we brought physicians from New York over there to set up